It's Mark Lobiter here watching Muscle Sport TV.
So you did it. You decided to join a bodybuilding competition. I give you a ton of fucking credit. I never even thought about doing it, and well, for obvious reasons. But even when I was a younger man, I never really thought about it. I didn't think I had the discipline to diet and do all of that stuff. And I worked out just for myself, for my health, and of course when I was younger, so I would stay in good shape and try to get fucking laid more, like most fucking men do. I give anyone credit, especially if somebody's doing it in the later portion of their lives, like in a masters competition. God bless you, man. That's great. And I always tell people that are going into competitions, especially if they haven't been in one in a long time, or if it's their first time in the competition, and they're in that over 40, over 50 range. The prep alone, you're a winner if you know that you put your fucking balls deep into this thing and you didn't leave no stones unturned, whatever cliches you want to use. I left it all out on the field, after a big game and stuff. Of course, there's always going to be winners and losers in shows. The first place is considered the only winner per se in different divisions, and then the overalls. So that's obviously you have to really be the best of the best. Let's be honest. Sometimes that's not always the case with a lot of these fucking shows. So regardless of how you look, if you don't win your show, as long as you know that you did everything you could, and if you got a fucking, bullshit trophy or not, that means nothing. You got pictures and videos from that night when you were on stage posing to the song you've been fucking listening to for, since the 70s and driving in your fucking first car with. Now you're posing to it and you knocked the fucking out of the park. You ripped, you shredded, you look fucking great, you're detailed. But somebody beat you, if they deserved it or not. You know how sometimes these things work. You still fucking won. I always tell people, you win before you even get to the fucking stage. You win before prejudging. You win in that last week or two of prep. If you fuck up the prep, then you didn't do it right, and then you feel like you maybe, I want to give this another shot. But if you just want to do a show, to see if you can do it, don't worry about where you fucking place. Worry about, did you do the prep right? Right? And that's fucking hard. And, with everything that's involved. Cardio, nutrition, fucking juice, everything. The workout's like the easiest part of everything. All the other stuff with the timing and carb up, carb down, you spill over. And it's way out of my fucking league. So the way I look at it is, if you did it right and you look fucking great, don't even worry about where you placed. If you win, even better. That's great. You never know. Keep going then. What the hell? But if you want to just do a one and done regardless, like I know guys that did shows and they were like, they didn't really worry about if they're going to win or not. They just wanted to fucking do it to see if they could get themselves in the right shape and stuff. And for the most part, most of the time, they felt like they did do good. Oh, I finished third, I finished fourth. Oh, there was only two guys in the thing, and I finished first, I finished second, and the 50 plus. It's a lot. The fucking mirror and the video and the photographs are, to me, that's the ones that's, and yourself, that you're your judge. Don't worry about who they picked to win the show. So, if you're going to do a competition, especially guys that are in the Masters, God bless you. Better you than me. That's all I got to say. I enjoy fucking macaroni and fucking gravy too much and fucking and beers to do that. But, hey, I want to say that this Old Guys Training Tip has been brought to you by MuscleGear.us. They make some great apparel. My buddy Ron Bowl over there They also, fitbodywater.com, you can see on the inside back cover ad of our current issue, volume 13, number 2. You can get this at musclesportmag.com/store, and make sure you check out musclegear.us and go to fitbodywater.com. Continuing here our evening at ProFit Deer Park right here with a pop-up stand, and we are here with Juan Perez, who you will be seeing in the next issue of Muscle Sport Magazine, volume 13, number 2. It will be in Anthony's Method to the Madness, Anthony Tuminello's column. Juan, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This man is a Marine veteran, so he earns a lot of respect just from that alone. Talk to us about your military career, how many years you did, and when you retired from the Marines.
So I was in the Marine Corps from 2010 to 2014. I was a motor operator, so I used to drive trucks and tow them as well. And I was last stationed in Virginia, and from Virginia I moved here to New York. So I've been here for about 6 years now.
And what you said, 2009 to 14 you were in?
2010 to 2014, yeah.
How was it? I mean, obviously the Marines, we know it brings you on a discipline level, and you're very physically involved. You're in great shape. How was it for you as far as that aspect of it, the physical aspect?
So the physical aspect was very hard, but it was more mental than anything else. They tried to drill that in your head that, you know, you had to just, your mindset was everything. And that was very important to us.
Fast forward a little bit, you come here to train. How long have you been training at ProFit?
So I have been a member here for about 3 years now, but I started with Anthony last year, from April to present. Yeah, so about a year. I've been with Anthony for about a year now.
Now, he said some transformation. I mean, you had to be in good shape in the Marines. So what type of transformation? And you'll see this in the issue. I'm not going to, blow any surprises. But just give us a little background on what did you need to do to change, and what kind of shape were you in when you started working with Anthony versus today?
So when I started with Anthony, we had just gotten out of COVID, so I pretty much let myself go. I wasn't as active anymore. I went up to like 220 something pounds. And then I went to see Anthony. I wanted to change everything. So within the first 3 months that I was with him, I went from like 220 to like 180, 7% body fat. So it was crazy. It was a crazy transformation.
And you're pretty tall. What's your height?
About 6 feet.
6 feet tall, 220. And what was your body fat when you started with Anthony?
I think it was like 20 something. It was over 20.
Wow, that's 7% is like nothing. And you're just doing this for yourself. You're not do you looking to compete maybe at some stage on a stage, or you're just doing this because you want to be in shape because that's what you did when you were in the Marines?
Yeah, I just wanted to be in shape, and I'm glad I met him.
What kind of a workout do you guys do? Do you guys do? I mean, you're a big dude, but you had to come down in body weight, so was it a lot of cardio based type of things and high reps, hit type of workouts?
I think what really made the difference was the meal plans that he recommended. Outside of the meals, there was a lot of cardio involved, and it was a strict schedule for me. But I stick to it. I trusted him with everything I had, and it showed.
What was the one thing that you did that you needed to cut out diet wise that you enjoyed?
Liquor.
Oh, I would have. I don't drink a lot anymore. When I was younger, but I would have a tough time giving it up. So, because I enjoy it. Hey, once a week, there's nothing wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
But it is very high in calories.
Yes, and as soon as I cut that out, and I changed. You know, I'm Puerto Rican, so we eat a lot of bread, a lot of rice. So removing that and following his plan and his recommendations, it just made a difference, a big difference. And now, I don't miss none of that. I like how I look, and I trust him with everything I got. Like everything, whatever he tells me, you know, whatever he recommends, I follow it, and I see it. I see the change.
Definitely, when you cut out alcohol, it's calories, it turns into sugar. I mean, it really does a number on your body, and it kind of blows your whole diet. That if you really did the right thing all week long, that really takes a difference. And you said the carb base. I'm Italian, so obviously carbs and bread and macaroni are the two biggest things. So what type of diet do you follow now? Do you follow a low carb, no carb? How do you break it down?
So right now he had me bulking up until recently. Before this week, he had me on a high protein, high calorie intake, and starting Saturday, I'm going back to low calorie, high cardio, and we're gonna cut again. So let's see how far I can take that one.
So you guys kind of do different type of cycles with the diet itself, right?
Yes.
Is there any time that you do for lack of a better term, an Atkins style diet?
What's that?
Like no carbs at all?
No.
High protein, high fat, no carbs?
No, he hasn't had me on no carbs.
Good, because it's very hard to sustain, and then once you blow it, it just kills you there. So just because you're cycling different things, sometimes that could work on a very short period of time for certain people, depending on your type of body and your metabolism. You're still pretty young. You probably burn calories off really fast. At this point, what type of weight do you feel comfortable at, and what do you fluctuate at?
I feel comfortable at 190. I'm at 220 right now, but I'm at 13% body fat versus how I started. So now we're gonna aim for 190 and hopefully 7% again to see how that looks. But I fluctuate between, ever since I started with him, it was hard for me to actually get back up to 200. So 190 is my.
That's your target weight. But you look good. I mean, it's like you're 220, but it's a good 220. You have size. You have muscle size. It's not bad weight. It's good weight. But you feel more comfortable cutting down, though, even if you're losing quality size?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I feel more comfortable that way.
You got to feel comfortable in your own body weight, and that's pretty cool that you could be 30 pounds above that but still look good. And you will see the transformation for Juan in that next issue. And I thank you for being involved and for Anthony sending you in. Plug your Instagram, anything else, any other social media you got? Shoot, go ahead.
My Instagram is JP Morris, JPMORIS, and that's all I got. It's just Instagram, yeah.
Make sure you give Juan a follow, and we will see him in Volume 13, Number 2 of Muscle Sport Magazine. Welcome to USFL Extra Point. I'm your host, Joe Piatella, right here on Muscle Sport TV. Year 1 in the books, year 2, it can't come soon enough. Great fucking job. I mean, really, listen, everybody involved with the USFL, straight up, this was a very, very positive way for a spring football league, alternative football, however you want to classify it, to come off, especially on the heels of the Alliance and the XFL, both unable to complete their first seasons respectively for different reasons. XFL COVID related, the AAF it was financial related. So the USFL able to not only complete the season, go through their postseason, have great tight matchups all year long, and culminating in a very tight championship game. 3-point win by the Stallions, 33-30 over the Stars. And it was fun to see Birmingham win, like I said in the previous week's video, because they were the hub city, and I think it was better for the league overall. But now the league has to look towards 2023, and they're looking to have the same type of schedule as far as when it's going to begin. Again, also, it's going to... The XFL is scheduled to start in February of 23. USFL is going to do the same as it did this year, starting in the spring, in like the month of April. They're going to start probably, again, a 10-week season. But they're looking to do 2 to 4 teams have a regular home and away schedule, other than having all 8 teams in the hub, in the bubble, if you will, at Birmingham. I know originally at the very beginning of the year, the plan was year 1, all 8 teams in the bubble. Year 2, 4 of the 8 teams being in their own stadium, home and away. But then near the end of the year, they said that they're looking at 2 to 4. So I guess what they're going to do in this off season, especially at the very front of it, basically, strategy wise, what's going to happen, which teams could do it. Are these teams going to be the same teams as they were this year? Or are they going to be different teams? Now, in this episode, I'm going to look at the existing teams, and just for argument's sake, saying that these will be the same teams we see next year. I really don't think they are, and obviously, when I do more articles on the league, I'm going to be talking to Darren James, their media representative, who was great to us all year long, and try to get as much information as possible so I can give it out to you guys out there. But looking at the 8 teams that we see right now, obviously Birmingham's going to come back and will be a home team. The Houston Gamblers. Now, you could always look and say, well, that city has a city or state has an existing NFL team, so they probably won't do well there. And you could sometimes that is true, and other times it isn't. It also depends on where that team plays. Birmingham is perfect for a team like this, and they even did well in the like Birmingham Iron and the AAF and stuff. So Houston Gamblers, yes, there is the Houston Texans. You also have the Dallas Cowboys, we know. Could Houston be a city that could support a team? I'm not even talking about quality of play on the field. We're just talking about people knowing about this and trying to get themselves to go to these games. Obviously, this year, the attendance was not as a big, important aspect of it. It was more of a ratings, because you had 2 big networks, Fox and NBC. Ratings were great. There was 1.5 million at one point watching the final. Opening night was a great night with Jersey and Birmingham, going back a few months, week 1. So the stands were good for the Birmingham games, not so good for the other games. So it's probably going to be a tough sell in any city. Okay, Birmingham seems to be very supportive of this team. So that's why they have to find places where these teams can play. Houston, I don't see them being one of these teams. The Michigan Panthers, however, were very successful in the original USFL in the 80s. Detroit Lions Michigan's a big state. They don't have to play in Detroit. And I think if they do have the Michigan Panthers to come back, which I think is a good idea, especially if Fisher is still the coach and Paxton Lynch is still the quarterback, I think he's going to get another shot in the NFL. Lynch, he deserves it. He played well enough to get a look. You don't play in Detroit. You play in a smaller area of the state where you have maybe a good college or high school base there. So I do like the Michigan Panthers. The New Jersey Generals. This one's it kills me because I'm a Generals fan. Being a New Yorker, I loved the Generals when they were around the first time, especially they had Brian Sipe, Herschel Walker, Doug Flutie took over, Donald Trump, my president, of course. And then they were supposed to have Jim Kelly when the Houston Gamblers merged with the Generals, but they never got that season off the ground in '86 because of the antitrust lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to rehash old things. So to me, to have the team as the New Jersey Generals takes a lot of possibilities out of this team being successful as a home and away team. If they do play in Jersey, they have to play at Red Bull Stadium. There is no way that they're going to play at the new Giant Stadium. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. It's Giant Stadium to me. Like the original Generals did. It's going to be the Guardians were in the XFL. It's going to be empty, the place. They're going to have a tarp at the top. It's not going to look right. The Birmingham Stadium was great. It was the University of Alabama, Birmingham's stadium, and the MLS Stadium of the team from Birmingham that played in the MLS. That was their stadium as well. Red Bull Stadium will be perfect for this. See, that's why I think if they were not the New Jersey Generals, if they were a New York team, they could play at a smaller place in the confines of New York where there is no pro football except Buffalo. Because the Jersey Giants and the Jersey Jets, call them whatever you want, they play in Jersey. Now, would it be weird to have the New Jersey Generals play in New York? Just as weird as it is to have the New York Jets and New York Giants play in New Jersey. So I think that even though they're going to probably want that because it's a big market, too much going on here, I'm going to unselfishly say that I don't think the Generals are a good candidate to be a team to have its home and away schedule. New Orleans Breakers. Now, this was a vagabond team in the original USFL. Boston, Portland, and New Orleans. The Breakers played in 3 cities in 3 seasons. They have them in New Orleans now. Obviously, we know the New Orleans Saints are there. Could they play in a different area of Louisiana? Again, it's a city name, not a state like Michigan. You could have them play in the outskirts. Again, the Saints are a pretty big draw in the NFL. I don't think the Breakers are going to get that much attention. Pittsburgh Maulers. Well, first of all, I don't think there should be a Pittsburgh Maulers. That was a very bad job. That whole team was run very badly by not only Wayne Kirby. I think the whole way that whole team was put together was just they were completely overmatched and outcoached in every aspect in every game. They won 1 game, I believe, over Houston throughout the whole season. But Pittsburgh, obviously, steal a town. There's no way you're going to be able to play in Pittsburgh and have 4 home games, even if they put them in a place that's not the same Heinz Field. I don't see that being a draw. Philadelphia Stars, again, a big city with a lot going on. The Eagles, you have the Phillies, the Flyers, the Sixers, not a good candidate if they were the Pennsylvania Stars or even, Baltimore would have been. They played in two cities in the original league, even though they were one of the better teams. They still couldn't put enough people in the seats. The team had to move, I think, after they played in the championship game. So I don't think Philly's a good idea. Tampa Bay Bandits, again, same problem. Tampa Bay Bucks with Brady coming back. Are people going to go see the Tampa Bay Bandits after they just watched Tom Brady probably win another fucking Super Bowl at age 90, whatever the fuck he is? Probably not. So, asking me, I say they do 2 teams, the Michigan Panthers and the Birmingham Stallions, if they stay with this same 8-team setup. I do have some good ideas as far as using, because they want to use the original USFL team names, cities, and logos, and they, modified them slightly. But I think out of these 8 teams, the only 2 that could probably, if they place the Michigan team in a proper place outside of Detroit, would be the Panthers and the Stallions, and all the other teams should be in the hub back in Birmingham. Hey, this ESPN, Extra Point USFL, God forbid ESPN, the fucking woke ESPN, is being brought to you by Muscle Sport Mag. Go to musclesportmag.com/store. $32 a year, free shipping United States. We ship worldwide, $5 to Canada and $8 elsewhere per issue if you live outside of the U.S. And we will see you in a week.
There you go. Come on, mama, let's go. Let's hit this shit.
Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me.